Welcome to the Indian podcast, and we would like to introduce you to a player who plays in the English football, but he is of Indian descent, and his name is Sammy. So, Sammy, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Gagandeep Samra, known as Sammy at Hamworth Villa Football Club.
Okay, and how long have you been playing for Hanworth Villa?
2.5 years now.
2.5 years.
No, three. Sorry, 3 years.
Okay.
I'm 30 years old, from London. Played briefly abroad in Malta.
Oh, that's great.
And when I was younger, I played for Fulham and Brentford.
Oh, so during your younger days, you played for the youth teams of Brentford.
Yeah.
So, what was your experience of playing with, say, a Brentford or a Fulham team?
Lots of commitment, lots of good players, training quite a lot, a lot of technical work. Enjoyed it a lot.
If I have to ask you a question, how has been your journey in football? If you say that you are passionate about it, there's no doubt about it,
Yeah.
right? So, at what age did you start your football, and what type of support did you got? Did you get a lot of support from your family and all that?
Yeah, I was started when I was 6. My dad mainly, and also my mum, drove me around the country for training, games, etc. So always kind of done it. Always what I've known.
So, some of your memories, can you share some of the memories that
Yeah,
that you had with, say, your academy? So,
Yeah.
when you were playing for Fulham, did you get scouted from school? How does it work for you? How did it work out
in
for
the
you?
UK, you get scouted from the Sunday league teams, especially when you're quite young, and then you go into the academy setup or centre of excellence, like Brentford was back in the day when they were in League Two, and then you kind of go into kind of 3-4 days a week training.
So, were you able to manage your school times, your studies, your education, and everything along with your football, or was it a task for you?
I struggled on the school side more, but that was, yeah. I think football's always been. I'm 30 years old now, so football's always been a passion of mine. That even now I'm working full time, I still make sure I do my football.
Okay. So, what do you think about the non-league football that happens in England? So, see, I come from India, and the structure that I have seen here. Do you think that football, you still have a path from non-league to, say, Premier League? Do all these teams, they vie or they want to play, or they want to try to play and get to the higher levels? Do you think does it happen with a lot of teams? They all have that aim.
Yeah, I think especially the youngsters, right?
Mhm.
I think if you're young, Stephen's one of them over there.
Yeah.
They're 18, and we've had a number of players that have gone on to play for Middlesbrough, Woking, and teams that are in kind of conference or League Two.
Okay.
So it's quite common for the youngsters that are kind of on their way up in their career, start in kind of our league and then go on to conference and then try and get a contract. And then you've got people that are kind of older, that kind of drop down through the leagues, either at conference and then come into kind of our kind of level. So you get a kind of mixture, those on the way up and then those kind of finishing their career on the way down.
Oh, if I may ask you, we don't see a lot of Indian footballers in the Premier League or even in the Championship. Probably if I can recollect, I can Michael Chopra, who played for Newcastle, Jan Dhanda, he played for, I think, Liverpool.
Yeah.
And in between, he wanted to, he was saying that during his, I read him on Twitter Spaces. So we had a blog where he came. He wanted to play for India. So, do you think there are a lot of talented players who are of Indian origin and they would want to play for India?
I think
Is
there's
that
more
the
now.
case?
I'll say there's more now. When I was kind of growing up, maybe not really many, if I'm honest. I don't really know many around my age that are kind of playing this kind of level or higher.
Okay.
But I think now the youngsters kind of are. They're still playing now. I think there's a few that's in the England setup at under 21 age and a few others. But at my age, probably not. Hopefully, more youngsters will come through.
So there is you can say a lot of Indians who are living in India in UK right now are pursuing football as a career, or probably trying to get into the teams, or is there a problem of ethnicity, or
Mm,
they are not looked upon, or do they play among themselves, something like that?
Um, no, I think you just got to get more and more playing,
Mm.
and then it kind of filters up. I think there's not enough that kind of playing at the moment to filter in. That's kind of the problem. I think you need to get more and more players going past 16, going past 18,
Mhm.
and then you'll kind of get the
Okay.
quality through.
What are your views about grassroots football? Do you think that when you played football in UK, the
Mhm.
grassroots football is good? Is it good,
Mm,
or is it organized well, or is it all about Sunday leagues, or is it all
no, it's organised well,
Mhm.
but it's like it's quite a good standard and setup. It's quite well organised. So you have 40 games, 45, 50 games in the season.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I guess it's difficult because I played in Malta as well, and the style of play is different. Everything's slower because it's hotter. Um, whereas here, everything's a lot more frantic, a lot more physical, a lot more
Mhm.
athletic, I'd say. So you get some mixture. It's always hard when you kind of compare. It's difficult.
So it's like it's more on power. So the game is more power. It's not tactical, not technical, or
Mm,
is it when you go higher? We understand football at that level is
mm,
very different when you say Premier League.
yeah.
But at the level that you are playing currently, do
Mm,
you think that there is a lot of tactical work that the coaches do, or it's only about yes, end of the day you have to win the game.
mm.
So do you see a lot of tactical work being done on the field, and does that get when you play a match? Do you see that happening during a game because the tactics that you have worked probably during a practice session,
Yeah,
or just tell me how many days in a week do you practice?
twice a week.
Twice a week.
Depends if we have to get like this week we had a game Saturday and Monday,
Mm-hmm.
so it depends if we have midweek games. But otherwise, normally Tuesday, Thursday training, and then game Saturday. Um, and then we have a certain way of playing, and then other teams have certain ways of playing, and I think everybody works on what they do, and then they try and implement that on Saturday. I think because obviously we're not in a professional setup, it's the amount of injuries you get in a squad of ours. You're playing almost as much as professional footballers, and they've got loads of subs, they've got professional physios, etc. Whereas we get a lot more injuries because of how small our squads are in comparison, and obviously we're not as fit as them. Um, but I think there's a lot of tactical stuff that goes into it. Teams play like even within our league, teams play in loads of different ways. We're quite direct. Other teams try and pop the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when I was younger, I grew up in an environment where it's all about passing it short, 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 short. That was all I knew. And then I got to kind of
So you're
uh,
going to adapt. You're trying to adapt to the game that is happening right
yeah,
now, right?
yeah. I think, and now I'm just all about winning. I think when you're younger, it's all about development
Mm-hmm.
and become better technically, tactically, etc. And then I think when you get to men's football, managers are sacked or keep their job based on winning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so there might be a team that says, "Oh, we play beautiful football," but if you look at their results, it's either winning this way or they're not. So it's at the end of the day, I think it's all about results. It's even at our level, it's results driven,
Okay.
which is
No.
unfortunate.
That's end of the day.
Yeah,
Everybody has to win a game, right?
yeah.
Uh, uh, who has been the best coach that you have ever worked with?
Mm,
If you can name it, it'll be fantastic.
mm, Remember when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
Mick Bradshaw, he was quite good.
Okay.
He was in one of the academy setups, and then also centre of excellence type of thing to help you get back into academies. Um, and then I say biggest winner is probably Simon. I think like we just don't lose many games. I think
Mm-hmm.
we've had a slow start to this season, but I think we'll be thereabouts in the playoffs later on.
Okay. From a grassroots perspective, what advice do you think you need to give to a youngster, say who's 8 years old
Mm,
or 10 years old, and he started football? From out of your experience, what do you think he needs to work on?
weaker foot, work on weaker foot a lot. I think that's kind of the main thing, and I think football's about decision making. So half turn, I think it's the little details, checking your shoulder when the ball comes into you for playing midfield, and then I think just staying fit. You see so many players that are gifted really well, but haven't got the explosiveness. I think that's really, really important.
So if you have to name three things that the youngster needs to do, what do you think
Um,
that will be?
Training
become a
weaker foot.
footballer? So you definitely gave yourself, and you went up to the level of, say, Fulham and a Brentford from an academy viewpoint. Do you think that there were a few things that you want to tell the youngsters that, okay, these are the things that you need to work on?
Yeah, I'd say training weaker foot, be explosive as you can, try and get as, because I think even in academy setups, you need to be very, very fast,
Anything
explosive.
related to, say, communication, discipline, something like that?
Yeah, just ignore the distractions. Don't need to go out with your mates. Just stay focused. I think they're the kind of players that make it. Don't go out on a Friday night, even when you're younger. Just stay in, give your body enough rest. You've got to make it your life because there's billions of people trying to make it around the world. So you've got to be disciplined more than the rest.
Fantastic. Now, tell me one thing. Are you aware of Indian football? How it happens? Which are the teams? Any teams that you can name?
I was in India a few months ago.
Oh,
But it's like I know a bit about the IPL and the setup there.
the ISL, the Indian
ISL,
Super League.
Super League, yeah. So they've thrown a bit more money at it now. But I don't know about the setups beneath that.
Okay. Any Indian player that you can recollect who you
I
feel?
think it's the striker. I've forgotten his name. He scored
Sunil Chhetri.
Yeah, he scored like millions of goals.
So he's currently
He's
the
at 38,
leading
right?
in the world.
Yeah,
He's in the top 3.
yeah. He's at
So
38, isn't he? 36.
he's 38 now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
still banging goals.
Yeah.
So that's because of his dedication that he does, things like that. So, when it comes to Indian football, I want to, showcase the world that, India is not too far behind, right? Why? Because the grassroots program that is there currently in India is fantastic, right? So, my idea when I came here was to, see grassroots football, how the training happens, and what are the things that are being conducted here. The most important thing that I can take from this setup is that it's very well organized. That's one thing that I can take away. Anyways, just to take, would you like to end it with anything that you would like to say to our academy children, or the players who are playing? Anything?
Just enjoy it. I think. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you very much. Yeah.